Hey guys, and welcome back to another video here. This is going to be part 2 of making a mod. So I just wanted to get that going here, as I pretty much changed my mind about doing it after there was so much interest in it. So, again, I'm doing this strictly for you guys, none at my benefit at all, as I've had to put in a ton of work in the last couple of days to even prepare for this video. So, I found my file, even though I switched hard drives, so that was really cool. And basically, what we're doing here is um, yeah, we're just gonna start on this rake again here. Um, and so I didn't obviously, I can't use the last one I was using because it was so long ago and Tractor House moves them around and stuff. But Tractor House is the best place I feel like to try to get pictures for models. I do have basically, um, you know, some of these open here. Um, and some of the pictures aren't too bad, but I can just get a lot closer in anything I want to see with the pictures in Tractor House. So I've been looking at a couple of demos, but nonetheless, yeah. So here we are, basically on this, and what I would like to do is get a lot of basically this side here done, um, if we can. So uh, without further ado, let's get started. So I think the first thing kind of we're gonna want to do is I'm actually probably gonna work on the pretty sure there's a picture here somewhere. Maybe it was on one of the other ones, but essentially gonna try to get on the back, because as you can see, the back and the center pipe is kind of this main beam is what we need here. So in order to get that, we are going to have to build this back and connect the tires and things. So all this basically in here needs to be connected up. So let's get going. Dang, some of those pictures are still gonna have to load, but we need basically a back bracket here from what I can see in these pictures here. Looks like it's pretty basic, then it just mounts on the bottom. So let's see if we can get something going here. The first thing I'm going to do is just pick this tire up and just kind of move it. Try that one more time here. Okay, so in case you guys didn't know how I selected that, get you out of the way for now. So there's two things I did. One, I held down Control and then just held down my left mouse button to select the area I wanted. Um, to get more of the area on both sides, I just did this little transparency thing. It says limit selection to visible, whatever that is. Anyways, it just allows me to see through the shapes, and you can see, I can see the other side of that, and I can see clear through and select those over there if I wanted to. Well, they're a little far away, but generally I would be able to. Like, I could be able to select all of this block from there, and I didn't have to even do anything. So that's what that does basically. Alright, we'll deselect the tire, and if that's where the shaft is going to come down, we're going to select this. We're going to not move it, put it back, get on an angle, extrude, get us some more material there. So I need some, but I don't need that much. And I could just move it, but I didn't want to. I'll just start over. And we can trim some of that off later if we want. So this is going to be basically what we need here. And then we need to, let's see, add a new mesh here. Yep, I believe the cube is the best thing to work with. Plane is pretty good actually. So the first thing we want to do is rotate that 90 degrees and hit enter. Undo. We want to rotate. There we go. We want to rotate on the y-axis 90 degrees. Perfect. Alright, so the only thing that we need to know about this plane is that we want to extrude some material from it this way. And everything's inside out, so that's not going to work. Delete faces. Yes. Alright, so we can't use a plane, we'll have to use a cube. Sorry. Pretty much always use cubes, I just thought I could do something a little simpler there. It turns out I couldn't. Again, you guys will have to just bear with me as I am very new to Blender again. Still very new to Blender. I haven't really messed with it a whole lot. What we're doing here is we're gonna make our bracket. I'm sure there's just a billion ways we can do it, but this is the way that I do it. So we're basically building this plate here, and then a piece there. Perfect. Now we just need to select it. Always like to double check. Make sure I got everything highlighted. Move it down and over here. And I'm pretty sure it's not going to be quite long enough, as there's more plate on the other side. So what I want to do is, just so we can have a good idea, unselect that, select that. Actually deselect that, we'll just take the whole thing. Again, you can grab the whole thing by holding Control and then holding down your left mouse button. That'll select the whole thing. So we'll take this and we'll move this tire in here like that. So the forward tire is always on the outside. And it looks like the tire is relatively close to it and covers up half of it. So with that being said, we probably got some pretty small tires here. Tires are one of the things that's always super tricky. That's better, and that's roughly the size of the tire. So what we'll do is we'll just take this one and we'll dupe it using Shift D. Oops. So doing the same thing, Shift D, but if you press the X-axis, it will slide it along the X-axis, so it will stay at the same height, and you can just rotate it on the Y-axis 180. Press Enter and shift it back. Now the hard part is deselect that one, because you can see this one's a little off, so the hard part is going to be to select this one. Without getting too much. Take our transparency off. And we can see that it needs to come back to right about there. That looks pretty good. and pretty good. So those are now even, and the space is decent. So with that, we take our block here, a couple of times, take that off, and then we basically can see that it looks tiny, but it's not terrible bad. And that'll do for that. Stupid phone. Let's see. Select this again. Once we have it selected, we'll move it on the inside. And I will here we go. I will know where to set that as soon as we get some cylinders in there. So this is going to be a really slow part. There's nothing I can do about it. So it is what it is. We might only get this much done. I'll probably do a little longer video so that again, I rotated that on the y-axis 90 degrees. I'll probably do a longer video so that we can get quite a bit accomplished here. And I don't know if you saw what I was doing, but I'm making a cylinder here so that this is going to be that bolt. That runs over there. It basically connects to the other side. So I want this here. I'm going to want it basically to come which that's a really heavy duty bolt. Let's scale it down just a little more. I like that, that's a little better. The scaling to get right is incredibly hard. You have to be doing it for a while, and I just haven't done it enough. But essentially, once you got it where you want it, and the size of it, it can be relatively simple. Now I'll push it in here and basically have a look at it like this, just to make sure that it's centered in this piece. Bring it out so that it still looks like it's welded in. Again, I just beveled that. I used Control B to bevel it to take kind of the edge off a little bit so it doesn't look so blocky. And I like that. That's kind of nice. Before I did that though, I needed to do a couple of things. One was take this cylinder, gotta really know what you're highlighting there. And then what I'll do is I will dupe it and run it along the y-axis till it's close to where I want it. And it doesn't really matter when we're moving along the y-axis. And we'll move this one on this side. And what this will do is it will does a couple of different things. One, it measures, sees how close I am in terms of distance, and I can see that that one's a little wider. So I'll just take and move this tire out is all I'll do. But it's keeping the right distance for this. And I messed up. That's, you gotta really pay attention to it. Deselect that. I'll select that. Let's get a little knob shape there. Whoops, wrong button. Alright, that was my 25-minute timer. This sucks, guys. I really apologize. Didn't get much done. We'll go longer. I'll set basically we'll go a little longer. What we'll do is I'll go for another 10 minutes here. Super long video, but has to be done because we didn't get much done here. And it's been a while since obviously I messed with this tutorial, but try to get as much done as I can in the next few minutes. I want you guys to really understand it. Honestly, guys, I do. I would not be doing this at all if it wasn't for you guys, because I have kind of moved past Farming Simulator, and am really waiting to start playing and modding in cattle and crops. So, but again, we'll just we'll dupe this on the y-axis. We'll move it over. And that should be relatively close there. We'll take this one and we'll pull it out so that it's stable, keeping the right distance on it. Select the rest of it. Dupe it on the x-axis this time. Pull it over so it's just ever so slightly inside. Deselect, we'll select that, and the rest of the entire cylinder here. We'll move it that way a smidgen. That was a smidgen too much. That'll do. Alright, and we can work with that then. What we'll do is... Oh, and I just obviously found out, you've seen, and you can watch the video back, but Z is the shortcut to get what I want. When you're highlighting and selecting things. But it can, at this stage of the game, you get a lot of objects in there. It can really take a lot of time up if you highlight extra things. So it's just easier to do it like this. when you have object after object after object on top of each other, it's all the meshes just kind of blend together. The only downfall is you do have to make sure you get all of them highlighted, or you won't be moving the entire mesh. Alright, now that should be everything. I don't like how that was not in the center, so we kind of did not pay attention to that. But what we'll do while we got this highlighted is we'll move it out to somewhere there. And we'll take this and this. Now that they're even, we'll push them back at the same time. We'll take and move the cylinder. We'll highlight these two again. And we'll move them back out. And that's that. Now let's work on these. That was exactly what I was talking about. When I said you gotta be careful on what you're moving. Because this was out of place, and luckily we hadn't moved it too far to make it out of whack. Looked out on that one. Now what we'll do here is we'll take this, and sorry, I know I'm moving all over the place now, but I'm trying to rush as I've only got a few minutes left, I'm sure. Now I'll move this one up. How much is to be determined, but that should be really close. Alright, so now what we'll do is we'll take another cube Shift A, cube, drag him over here, size him down. Alright, here you stupid timer. Damn it. Shoot, I mean, didn't get much done. It just takes a long time, guys, but basically what we'll do is we'll try to get this guy sized, see, and get him shaped so he looks relatively close to the right size. He's probably ever so slightly fat, but that's what we'll do. We'll start shaping him in the next episode, and it's basically going to be these brackets here. So, yeah, it's basically we're going to shape this bracket here is what we're going to do. Make those brackets for that. So, as you can see, making a model takes a long time. And so that's why when people say are working on it, just be patient with them because it does take a long time to make a model. And I mean, in 2 episodes, this is all we've got done. In all fairness, this took a while, and the tires were kind of finicky. But thanks for watching, guys. Please be sure to comment down below. Let me know how you guys are liking these series. I am continuing these for you and your benefit. So just shoot me that thumbs up. As some of you probably already know, I do not have a YouTube channel because I want to be big and famous. I have basically made this just to help out the basically community in modding. So definitely doing this for you guys. It's not about me at all. So I know maybe a lot of people hear that, but I truly do mean it. As it's been like 9 months since I've done the tutorial on this series. So yeah, with that said, we will continue this. I will try to do at least 1 video a week for as long as we can go until I feel like Cattle and Crops is in a good position to play. So it could be a year from now, but a month from now, it's hard to say. Those guys are fantastic over there. So if you have not, please go over there and check their website out, cattleandcrops.com, and purchase a copy. Support their development. That game is light years ahead of Farming Simulator, and there's only a few guys working on it, which is basically now onto the ranting why I left Farming Simulator. I felt like from Farming Simulator 13 to 15 was a vast improvement, but from 15 to 17 only minor improvements, and they got lazy and just took everybody's money. They basically launched the game too soon. They, as people knew that, bought the game right away. And they got super lazy, and I felt like it was just a cash grab for them, and so I was pretty upset, which is why I moved away from modding FS17 so long ago. But nevertheless, thanks again for watching, guys, and we'll see you in the next one.